Good afternoon, I'm Billy Lopez alongside Nicolette Rojo, and welcome to Campus West in LaVerne, California for today's SCIAC matchup between the visiting Redlands Bulldogs and the home LaVerne Leopards. Redlands come in coached by Jose Ortega, who is in his first season with the team after coaching 10 seasons at Riverside City College. His Redlands teams come in 3-3 overall and a 1-1 record in SCIAC. LaVerne comes in coached by interim head coach Henry Morenchel after the departure of longtime coach Julie Smith. LaVerne is 5-1 overall and are 2-0 in SCIAC and have won 5 consecutive games. Both teams are trying to build some momentum early on in this season, and both teams have the talent to do just that. Nicolette, who are some of the players to watch in this game?
Well, Billy, for the LaVerne Leopards, so we have number 19, Sienna Kendricks, the right fielder, who is currently hitting .667 on the year, which is first in SCIAC play with 3 RBIs, 2 runs, and 10 hits. They also have number 33, Gabriella Underwood, the first baseman, who is hitting .444 on the year with 1 home run, 5 runs, and 8 hits, and was recently the SCIAC Hitter of the Week for the week of February 5th. Catherine Navarro, the pitcher and first baseman, number 21, who is hitting .313 on the year with 1 home run, 5 runs, and 5 hits in 16 at-bats. For the pitching side, she has totaled up a .315 ERA with a 3-0 record, which is first in SCIAC play in 20 innings. Also tackling 14 strikeouts, which is second in SCIAC. As we take a look for the Redlands side, we have number 6, J.C. Sanchez, the outfielder, who is currently hitting .471 on the year with 1 RBI, 4 runs, 8 hits, and 17 at-bats. Number 2, Nova Siegel, the catcher and infielder, who is hitting .412 on the year with 2 RBIs, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 17 at-bats. Number 21, Rihanna Curtis, the infielder, who is hitting .400 on the year with 1 run, 4 hits, and 10 at-bats. And Lindsay Mifsud, number 19, the pitcher, who has a little higher ERA at .630, but a total of 7 strikeouts, 13 innings, 1-2 record.
At this time, we ask that you please rise, move caps.
And we pause for the national anthem.
Thank you. Once again, welcome to the University of LaVerne, and enjoy the game.
Catherine Navarro, the starter for today, 3-0 with a 3.15 ERA in 20 innings pitched, allowed 16 hits, 9 runs, 13 walks, and 14 strikeouts. Nicolette, what does she have to do to get this team going?
What she basically has to do is just start off, keep doing what she's doing. As I watched them perform game 2 against Cal Lutheran, game 1 in Cal Lutheran last week, she set that tempo early in the game, remaining calm, and if getting into potential jams, whether on first to third, loaded bases loaded, she's remained calm and trusted her pitching, and also communication between her and the catcher, which is very key in the game of softball. So she could control herself and mix up her pitches like she typically does, she'll be in there just fine.
So we take a look at the Redlands lineup as chosen by head coach Jose Ortega. Batting first in left field, Haley DeMace. Batting second, catching Nova Ciego. Batting third, the designated player, J.C. Sanchez. Batting cleanup at third, Jessica Tarosian. Batting fifth at first, Tyson Gordon. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Sam Rivas. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Jordan Smith. Batting eighth at second base, Desiree Morin. Batting ninth and rounding up the lineup in right field is Ronnie Lars. So take a look, the lefty Haley DeMace checking in. DeMace, the lefty, batting .333 this season with 3 runs batted in. There's going to be a little bit of a delay. Navarro going to the home dugout on the third base side to get her wristband. A lot of information on those.
Basically, pitching and pitchers and catchers too have those little wrist, as you can see on her left forearm, that little wrist band that not necessarily just pitches, because she knows her pitches, but it's delivery also, depending on the situation. For example, if you go an 0-2, you may want to go with a curve or a high fastball. So it just it's basically a lot of scenarios and communication with the catcher and the hand signals.
0-1 is outside 1-1, and yeah, Nicolette, you were talking about Navarro and her catcher needing to be on the same page, and if you forget that, not on the same page early on.
That's why it's important in softball and baseball. People typically underestimate the importance of the catcher other than just being the general on the field.
The 1-1 slap to the left side. Fair ball right on the line, and DeMace has herself a leadoff double down the left field line to get things started for Redlands. Just kind of slapped at it, put it in play down the left side.
It's just good contact right there. Pitch was a little bit off on the opposite side. She was able to use her body and just balance out, getting a piece of it and barely hitting inside fair play. And those moments, that's just hard. That's just good offense by the hitter.
Now the lefty, Nova Siegel, checks in. The runner at second, nobody out in the top of the first, and the pitch is outside 1-0. Siegel, 4-12 early on, batting with 2 runs batted in, a chance to pick up a third if she could put it in play. She hits it down the left field line. Long run for Ogata in foul territory. Makes the catch for the first out.
Good eye and hustle by Ogata right there. LaVerne's outfield is not only the discipline but also tenacious, as they always like to make sure they run to the ball even if it's 20+ feet away.
Defensive alignment for LaVerne from left to right in the outfield, Ogata, Condon, Kendricks. Left to right in the infield, Borden, Giannatasio, Mendoza, Underwood. Grani is catching, Navarro pitching as the first pitch missed inside to Sanchez. Counts 1-0. 1 out. DeMace at second. She led off the inning with a 1-1 double down the left field line. And a scoreless ball game in the top of the first. Navarro's 1-0. Misses 2-0. Sanchez swinging a hot bat, 471 coming into today's game. The 2-0 to Sanchez, misses 3-0. Navarro in trouble. Behind Sanchez 3-0, has walked 13 batters compared to 14 strikeouts in 20 innings thus far, so the walk issue seems to be continuing early on. The 3-0 to Sanchez is inside a 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Jessica Tarosian.
Going off of the walks issue, Billy, LaVerne is struggling on the year with giving up walks. They are dead last in that category in SCIAC. They have allowed 25 on the season. And as for Redlands, they have drawn 20, which is actually leading SCIAC. So that's going to be a key to success on either side.
Patience on the Redlands side and a loss of command on LaVerne's side. A swing and a miss to get Tarosian, 0-1 the count. DeMace led off the inning with a double. Siegel would fly out in foul territory. Sanchez followed with a walk. 2 on, 1 out. The 0-1 from Navarro is foul tipped into the catcher's glove, 0-2.
Now at 0-2, after a quick 0-2 for Navarro, you can go either a few ways actually. You can either do a little high fastball, you can do a little curve right here. Let's see what she goes with.
The 0-2 to the freshman is a high fastball. Got her swinging. Out number 2 in the top of the first. Right on cue, Nicolette. The first baseman, Tyson Gordon, checks in. Redlands wants to score in the opening frame. They'll need a 2-out hit. They got 2 on. At first and second, Navarro into the wind. Finds the strike zone on Gordon, 0-1.
One thing that LaVerne has improved this season compared to the 2018 season is staying composed as a team and coming back from behind. As we've seen, they were just down, had 2 men on base. But now with only 1 out, and now with just 2 outs, they're slowly creeping back in. As you can see, the composure from Navarro. She's taking her time, reading her signals on her wrist.
Navarro's 1-1 to the freshman first baseman is poked into center field on a line right to Condon for out number 3. So Navarro works out of trouble after allowing a leadoff double followed by a walk. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the first, still no score. Starting for Redlands will be Nicole Stanzione. Kind of a dual threat, listed as an infielder and pitcher. Has not hit this season. She comes in 1-1 with a 4.77 ERA. A little over 14 innings early. In her career against LaVerne, has pitched 10 innings, has allowed 6 earned runs, so she struggles a little bit facing this LaVerne team.
And with LaVerne having a little home advantage right here, that should definitely help in front of the home crowd. And LaVerne tends to do better on home anyways. So let's see if they could, which is actually a key to success for LaVerne throughout this game, is to just hop get on the heat early in this game, take advantage of her struggles and utilize their strengths, especially within the top, the cleanup spot, and the middle of the lineup.
So take a look at the lineup for LaVerne. Second baseman, Michaela Mendoza, followed by the first baseman, Gabriella Underwood. Batting third, Catherine Navarro. At the cleanup spot in right field, Sienna Kendricks. Batting fifth, the designated player, Melissa Garcia. Batting sixth in left field, Rachel Ogata. Batting seventh in center field, Carly Condon. Batting eighth at short, Kayla Giannatasio. And rounding up the lineup for Coach Morinchel at third is Justice Borden. So the righty Mendoza takes the first pitch from Stanzione, is high, 1-0. Stanzione making her third start. Gets Mendoza swinging 1-1.
Mendoza's not much of a power hitter, but she is a very good contact hitter as she is hitting .357 on the year. So look for her to be patient on the plate, looking for that right pitch.
The 1-1 to Mendoza is put in play to the right side in shallow right. Making the catch is the second baseman, Desiree Moran, for out number 1.
Good communication by the Redlands defense right there. Typically when the ball gets, that's a very dicey spot if you're on the defensive side. With the ball hitting towards shallow right or left field, in this case right field, when 3 to 4 defenders coming up for the ball, it's very important to communicate to not only avoid injury, but obviously the error.
Here's the righty, Gabriella Underwood. Sophomore first baseman. In her first season with LaVerne, last year as a freshman, played at the University of Dallas where she led the team, batting .328 as a freshman. The 1-0 to Underwood is whacked in the right center field gap. Long run, not going to get there. Underwood goes opposite field, and LaVerne has a 1-0 lead.
Very, very good start by LaVerne right there. As I mentioned earlier, it's important for the offense to heat up early, and they've just done that with Underwood crushing that ball to right field. Staying strong, having good balance, being patient with the bat, and just following through and just blast it out.
She had 1 home run all of last season at the University of Dallas, already has 2 homers this season, continues her hot hitting, picking up her 4th RBI. LaVerne early 1-0 with 1 out in the bottom of the first.
The home run was actually the same spot she hit her first one in game 1 of Cal Lutheran this past Saturday as well, which is nice, which is an interesting little fact.
Here's Catherine Navarro, behind in the count 0-1. The 0-1 changes speeds, finds the strike zone on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. That home run was the second home run allowed by Stanzione this season. Her 0-2 to Navarro is put in play to the right side. Shading her eyes is the second baseman, Morin, to make the catch for out number 2. Two outs, bases empty for Sienna Kendricks. And with the way that she's been swinging things, that's the way you want to go after her, with the bases empty and 2 outs.
Yes, absolutely. It's very important when you have any sort of red-hot hitter, bases empty.
Kendricks gets into this one right into center field. Moving over about 5 steps to her left is the center fielder Rivas for out number 3. But LaVerne gets a 1-0 lead thanks to the 1-out home run by Gabriella Underwood. Top of the second, Navarro will go back out for her second inning of work.
Look for LaVerne to obviously not just continue what they've done in the past in the first inning, but to remain composed throughout this inning, maybe even changing speeds a little bit. Navarro's delivery compared to LaVerne's pitch, the other 2 LaVerne pitchers, is a little more slower, which not only gives her more time to think location-wise, velocity, etc., but it could also play a chance in the long run to throw off the hitter as well.
So Navarro will go back, throwing her warm-up pitches. And Nicolette, I don't know if it's just February or what, but for her career, Navarro is 7-1 in the month of February with a 2.94 ERA. Her numbers then tend to go down as the season progresses.
February is typically the first month it's in softball, not only for a season for LaVerne, but for everyone. And sure, it can be a little Valentine's Day showing love. The softball golf's maybe showing love to her, but the importance is just to keep that consistency, and also relying on the defense as well. As I've mentioned, LaVerne has been working on their defense. As I talked to Coach Henry Marinchel last week after the Cal Lutheran series, they've been working on their defense consistently throughout the season, which also helps a pitcher even if she is struggling a little bit.
The 1-0 finds the strike zone, 1-1 to Rivas. Yeah, and you actually wrote a pretty good article on the Campus Times, Nicolette, about that. And Morinchow was saying that one thing that he noticed from last year was they made too many errors. And immediately he says, we got to work on that.
Absolutely. So around this time last year, they had 11 errors as Navarro gets a little swing and miss. They had 11 errors around this time last year. This year, they've cut that by half, only 6.
Batter is Sam Rivas, the center fielder. Behind in the count, 1-2. Navarro's 1-2 is outside, 2-2. Navarro had a scoreless first inning after surrendering a leadoff double to Haley DeMace. The 2-2 to Rivas. Swing and a miss, strike 3, her second strikeout of the game for the first out in the top of the second.
She goes back again with that high fastball. Actually traveled up a little bit. Originally, it was supposed to be around the middle outside of the plate, but it actually went up, traveled up around the chest area, which was a good strikeout, which strikes her out right there.
First pitch to Smith is fouled back. Jordan Smith, the shortstop, batting .294 with a home run and 2 RBIs this season. Hitting in the 7th spot for Coach Ortega. Redlands trailing 1-0 in the top of the second. The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. The senior shortstop has the bat on her right shoulder, now lifts it up. The 1-1 from Navarro. High and inside, 2-1. Navarro a perfect 3-0 to start the season. Has the lead right now in her favor, 1-0 in the top of the second. 1 run coming off the bat of Underwood. Solo home run as the 2-1 misses outside, 3-1.
It's a good hitter's count right here if you're Redlands.
Navarro in danger of walking her second batter. The 3-1 is swung on and popped up behind the plate. Unable to make the catch was Bailey Grani. There was a trio of LaVerne players, Borden from third, Navarro from the circle, and none of them were able to catch it.
That happens. Sometimes that just happens. And in that play, that looked like it could have gone either way, as Grani did have an angle, but she did twist her arm a little bit too much on the little 375 angle, so that makes it harder to grasp the ball in your glove, especially with the catcher's glove. Navarro had the right pitch right there and was able to jam Smith.
So Smith getting second live. Count works full, 3-2. 1 out, base is empty in the top of the second, 1-0 LaVerne.
Grani as a freshman, if you're her, it's just important to just shake it off and move on to the next pitch.
Payoff pitch once again to Smith is smacked to the right side. Long run for Kendricks. And went off of the protective netting down the right field line. long at bat for Jordan Smith.
If you're the batter in this case, even though you're not getting any action, you're tiring out the pitcher as well, slowly, which could catch up to her in the long run.
This one's on a line to the shortstop. Giannatasio makes the catch for out number 2.
Navarro got Smith right there with the pitch that actually was almost caught by LaVerne, but got her this time to line out too short.
So here's the second baseman, Desiree Moran. Moran, the righty, with a slightly open stance, takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Moran batting .222, playing in her 6th game thus far. Sophomore from Bakersfield, California. Trying to stage a 2-out rally here in the top of the second with her team trailing 1-0. Swings and pulls this one to the left side. And it'll go foul. 0-2.
See what Navarro goes with this time, because last time she wasn't 0-2 and sealed the strikeout. She went with a high fastball. So as she's looking at her wristband right here, let's see if she goes back with a fastball or she goes lower.
Infield and outfield play. Moran straight up, swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Grani, and there will be no throw down to first. So Moran reaches first on the drop, third strike, to keep this inning alive.
It's a smart play by Grani not to throw it, especially if you're a little bit inexperienced at the collegiate level. You're tempted to just throw it, try to get that out. But with the way the runner was approaching, that blocked her view a little bit. So it's better to just have the runner go advance to first than throw it away and cause a bigger error.
The right fielder, Ronnie Lawyers, takes the ball 1-0. Has 3 hits and 6 at-bats. Batting .500. That was small sample size. Navarro, the wind, the 1-0. This is inside 2-0. Navarro has fallen behind 3 hitters, 3-0. In danger of her 4th. The 2-0. Misses, 3-0. The throw down to second is in time to get Moran trying to steal second. So Grani throws a strike to Giannatasio. The shortstop covering for the final out in the top of the second.
That's just a great throw by Grani. And what helps was the pitch was higher, so it's a lot easier to get in. You're already in position, practically in throwing position. All you need to do is just catch and grab the ball, the glove, and just launch it, which she was able to do so to get that final out, which is one of the best ways really to get an out, is catching a runner on the go.
Bottom of the second, 5, 6, and 7 due up for LaVerne, Garcia, Ogata, and Condon. Trying to tack on to their 1-0 lead. Nicole Stanzione in her 2nd inning gave up a solo home run to Underwood. Gave up her 2nd homer of the season. So we'll see if she can settle down here in the bottom half of the second in a 1-0 game.
And if you're LaVerne, you have the right hitters as well after Kendrick's at bat. You have Garcia, you have Condon and Ogata. You have the experienced lineup, even though it's the bottom one. That doesn't necessarily mean in baseball, softball they're the weaker hitters. That generally means you can only fit so many people, and it's important to just align adjust your lineup the way you want it to work for you as a team, and the fact that you have Garcia on who actually just hit the go-ahead double, 2-run double to seal the Cal Lutheran series this past Saturday. So she's on fire on top of 2 experienced seniors, recent graduates as well in Ogata and Condon.
Melissa Garcia batting .308. Senior with the open stance, takes a strike on the inside part. 0-1. Garcia hit a career high 4 homers last season. 0-1 to the right side. The first baseman, Gordon, makes the catch right on the first base line for out number 1.
Garcia almost had that pitch as well, but she was a little too late on that plate appearance right there, which caused her to just pop up to just at the dirt to the first base.
Ogata checks in, the lefty. Corners come in, and Ogata puts a charge in this one to right field, over the right fielder's head. And Ogata is going to stand at second with a 1-out double. They all came in for Ogata, and she surprised everyone and whacked it over everyone's head.
Ogata will do that to you as a pitcher and defense. Usually left-handed batters tend to hit on the left side of the field, but with Ogata, she usually, most of her hits come to the right side, more little right compared to center right, and then if anytime you get the outfielder to twist her body a little bit, you know that's a good sign, unless you have freakishly long arms and good speed on, and then now you got good speed on the bases for LaVerne.
Condon, first pitch swinging right at the shortstop. Smith, her throw over to first is in time to get Condon. Ogata moves up to third base with 2 outs.
Now batting.
Generally speaking, the ball hit to your right. You stay put at second, but Ogata continued to go. She got the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, I just noticed she had a little hesitant right there, but in sports, you want, in any sport, it's important to just go with your guts, and it was just also good job reading the defense as well. You saw the shortstop are throwing, and then she just took off with that speed.
Counts 1-1 for Gianna Tassio. Ogata 60 feet away at third. Giannatasio has 1 hit in 5 at-bats. Her 1-1 is fouled to the right side, 1-2. Ogata at third. With 2 outs in the bottom of the second, LaVerne with a 1-0 lead.
Good count for Stanzione, so let's see what she goes with right here.
The 1-2 is drilled down the left field line, just foul. Maybe about 6 inches off the line.
Those are always tough, especially when you know as a batter it looks like it's just about to hit fair, but then last microsecond it goes foul. It's always tough, but I was just still good patience. I have to get a little timeout right here.
Giannatasio, junior shortstop. Down in the count, 1-2 with 2 outs. Ogata at third. Ogata reached on a 1-out double and advanced to third on the ground out by Condon. The 1-2. High and away, 2-2. The righty Giannatasio waves the bat over her right shoulder, awaits the 2-2 from Stanzione, puts it in play to the left side. The throw over to first in time from the shortstop, Jordan Smith. So nothing comes out of the one-out double from Ogata. She's stranded at third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Top of the third, LaVerne hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Catherine Navarro, perfect so far, 2 scoreless innings.
As long as she just keeps up with, also trust, getting in the count is the key going forward. While she has been able to get out of those jams with the help of her defense and taking advantage of that, it's important, especially as a pitcher, to get in the count earlier. Yeah, you want to get those outs, but if you want to preserve energy and go through potentially the entire game or multiple innings, it's important to get ahead in the count earlier, or if you are down, get the batter to fly out or ground out, etc., instead of working a 3-2 count and relying on a payoff pitch every time, or a dangerous hitter's count.
9-1-2 due up for Redlands. You remember, Ronnie Lawlers was batting when Moran was thrown out trying to steal second base.
Lead off for the Bulldogs, number 31, Rainey Lowers.
Rainey Lowers playing right field for Redlands. Taking a couple of practice swings. Now digs in the right-handed batter's box. Navarro into rewind, first pitch to Lars. Is low in the dirt, 1-0. This Redlands team finished 12-16 in SCIAC last season, 17-23 overall, finished 5th in the standings. Have missed the playoffs 2 consecutive seasons, trying to get back into that postseason tournament. As Navarro falls behind 2-0.
Navarro struggling with command throughout this entire game, which is causing her to fall behind a lot in these scenarios.
2-0, finds the inside part, 2-1. Only 1 hit for Redlands thus far. 1 hit, first batter. Haley DeMace doubled. Will be stranded at second. The 2-1 misses, 3-1. Grani trying to pull it in a little bit and frame it. Home plate umpire did not think it was there.
Did the right thing as a catcher. Sometimes you're just not going to get that call, and that's just the reality of baseball or softball.
Navarro's 3-1 is fouled to the left side, and the count works full. Second full count that Navarro has been in. You mentioned struggling with the command early on. Only has 1 walk thus far compared to 3 strikeouts.
That's just, again, picking the right pitch and being smart as well.
Payoff pitch is swung on and missed. 4th strikeout for Navarro.
That's when experience comes in as well. Even though some pitchers do walk up, make up the count, the payoff pitch, as long as a good feeling for pitchers to build up their confidence is getting a strikeout on that payoff pitch, even if they've had a few of those, just because strikeouts are a good feeling, but knowing that it's almost do or die scenario in the pitcher's mind and getting that final strike, especially swinging and missing on the 3-2 is a good feeling. So let's see if she keeps that up.
Gets in front of the hitter. Haley DeMace, 0-1. The 0-1 to Demise is swung on, drilled to center field. Condon trying to make the over-the-shoulder catch, could not do so. Demise is thinking 3. The throw will not be in time. So Demise has herself a double and a triple, 2 for 2 for Redlands.
Good effort by Condon. It was just out of reach, and excellent base running right there. That to not only get her first triple of the year, but that's actually the Redlands' first triple as a team. And with only 1 out to go, that gives her, it gives the hitter flexibility, but as a pitcher, it's not a big deal if you end up walking them. And that's why in some scenarios they do, a coach or a pitcher or catcher would decide to intentionally walk them.
So it'll be the left-handed catcher, Nova Segal. 0 for 1, she flew out to left in her first at-bat. With 1 out, the tying run, 60 feet away at third. Segal fouls that one off to the left side, 0-1. One's way outside and low, 1-1 to Segal. Segal with 2 runs batted in this season. A chance to pick up her third. Her team trailing 1-0 in the top of the third. With 1 out, the 1-1 is put in play into center field. Condon, the dive, unable to corral it. It'll be an RBI single for Segal to knot the game up at 1 in the top of the third.
Good patience by Segal and better balance right there. Your balance when you're up to bat comes from your lower body. Some may think it's all upper body, but often head coaches and training coaches emphasize the importance of the lower body because of that balance, and which she had right there. And good effort by Condon, but just couldn't seal the deal, tying up the game.
First pitch strike to Sanchez, 0-1. Sanchez didn't see a strike in her first plate appearance, walked on 4 pitches from Navarro. It's a designated player, J.C. Sanchez. Runner at first. Sanchez puts this one in play in shallow center. Condon, a lot of time, makes the catch, throw back to first. An attempt to try to double up the runner. Segal was able to get there back in time. So second out of the inning. Jessica Tarosian, the cleanup hitter, will try to keep the inning alive.
If you're Redlands, this is the girl you want to have at bat. She's actually also tied first in Skag with 6 RBIs.
First pitch swinging on a line to Ogata and left for out number 3. But Redlands' Nicolette cashes in on 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They left 1 on base. They've tied the game up at 1 here as we head into the bottom of the third.
LaVerne, well, with Navarro getting one of Redlands' best hitters right there on the first pitch, that gives them a little more momentum on the offensive side, especially after that last play scoring the run, tying the game up, as Coach Martel is hyping up and critiquing the girls in the huddle right here. He's basically probably telling them, not only hyping them up, but telling them that it's still early in the game, it's 1-1, and to trust the offense. LaVerne historically has always had great, strong offense, and it's shown this year as their They're at least in the top 2 in all offensive categories. Second in runs, hits, RBIs, average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage. So all positives, all for the offensive side for LaVerne. So let's see if they could keep that up.
And they always talk about shutdown innings, Nicolette. And when I mean shutdown innings, your team just scored some runs for you, and you got to put up a 0 in the next time you go out there. How big is it for Stanzione to limit LaVerne right here and put up a 0 and get her girls back out there in the top of the 4th with a chance to take the lead?
Huge, and that's actually another big key for Redlands is to silence LaVerne's bats, especially early in the game, and consistently do so. If Stanzione does this inning, that will give the Bulldogs more momentum as they just not only tied the game this past and the top of the inning, but they're going into more with confidence, and especially that their pitching stats are in the bottom half of Sky. It really brings up your confidence as a pitcher.
Third baseman Borden leading off here in the bottom of the 3rd. 9-1-2 due up. And this one's going to get Borden on the left side of her body. She'll go to first on the hit by pitch. The lineup turns over. Michaela Mendoza checks in.
Second baseman, number 10.
That's the 10th time a LaVerne hitter has been hit by a pitch this season, so that also leads in Skyac play.
And the first time that Borden was plunked this year. So Borden representing the go-ahead run at first in a 1-1 game in the bottom of the 3rd. Mendoza, healthy swing, fouls it to the right side on top of the visitors' dugout on the first base side. 0-1 to Mendoza. Mendoza, the righty, crouches in, awaits the pitch from Stanzione. There was a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Nobody out. Borden at first. The bottom of the 3rd, 1-1 the score.
LaVerne does lead in stolen bases this season with 5. And while Borden doesn't steal a lot, she was caught stealing once, but look for LaVerne to be aggressive.
Mendoza puts this one on a line to the left fielder, making the catch easily as Damas for the first out. Kind of a bad break for Mendoza. She put that one on the line to the left fielder. Sometimes you square them up and you hit them right at the fielders.
That's a really bad feeling. Like, okay, like as soon as you hit it, this is going to be a good hit. It's especially when it's a line drive, but then it goes to the fielder, and then instantly like, darn. But that's why it's important just to make it up on defense, next at bats, and there's still a lot of softball left in the game, so there's plenty of opportunities for LaVerne to take advantage of. And softball is a slow-paced game as well, so you have that chance to reflect on it. You have your teammates to help you out, coach to critique you, etc., etc.
Mendoza back in at batting. It's an illegal action by the pitcher Stanzione that allows Mendoza to get back in. A lot of confusion. Not exactly sure what happened and what they called. But Mendoza's back up there with the count 1-2. Still nobody out.
Even in interesting scenarios like that, as a batter, it gives you opportunity to redeem yourself, especially with the little time you had to get yourself back up.
1-2's outside, 2-2. Mendoza 0 for 1. Popped out to the second baseman in her first at bat. The 2-2 is lined right at the shortstop. The throw back to first, and they doubled up Borden.
Borden had a little bit big of a leadoff right there, but Mendoza just lines out to short and was able to easily get that easy double play.
So instead of 1 out, they get 2 outs. And now Underwood checks back in. This time a change of speeds on the first pitch, 0-1. She homered in her first at bat to give LaVerne a 1-0 lead. Redlands would counter with a run in the top of the third. A 1 is outside, 1-1. Underwood was the SCIAC hitter of the week 2 weeks ago. And right now with the home run, looking good for maybe another SCIAC hitter of the week.
Absolutely, she's definitely feeling that heat.
And that one's going to be a base hit into left field, so she's a perfect 2 for 2 today. Home run and a single. Represents the go-ahead run at first with 2 outs.
Strong fall, just a strong follow-through right there by Underwood, and was able to get just enough oomph on the ball just over the third baseman for a single.
Now batting pitcher.
Catherine Navarro,
21, Catherine.
batting .313, checks in. She's 0 for 1 today. 1 homer on the year with 5 runs batted in. Hit a career high 11 home runs and 27 RBIs last season. And her 11 home runs as she lines it right back at Nicole Stanzione, making the catch for the final out.
As a pitcher, those are always scary moments right there. Just a line drive rocketing towards you, but she was able to get the glove as she missed, ducked down, and was able to get the final out right there.
It's a little bit of defense and a little bit of self-preservation for Stanzione. Nonetheless, they get the final out in the bottom of the third. 4th inning and a 1-1 score. Who's looking good so far?
Definitely, despite the low-scoring game, both sides are looking good on the defensive side, especially. So as we look for LaVerne, Navarro, despite all the 3-2 counts, she has 4 strikeouts, drawn a couple blocks, but is still hanging in there with a composure, keeping it calm. Give credit also to LaVerne's defense as well, as they haven't committed errors and were able to take advantage of the infield, particularly, especially with those later runners on base for Redlands. For the Bulldogs side, Stanzione is having herself a low game as well, as she's silent. She only gave up 1 run to a powerful LaVerne's offense. That's a pretty good accomplishment as a whole, and the offensive game is maybe slow on both sides, but they say defense wins. When offense may win games, defense wins championships, but in this case, I still think defense wins in general, so may the best pitcher and defense win.
5, 6, and 7 due up in the 4th. Navarro working on her 4th inning. This one hits the dirt before it reaches. 1-0 to Gordon. Gordon flew out the first time to center field. She's 0 for 1. A freshman first baseman. Trying to pick up her 3rd hit of the season. The 1-0 is high, 2-0. Navarro's been laboring out there on the circle. Behind again, 2-0. And this one's hit in a left center field. Condon shading over 10 steps to her right for out number 1.
That's the good importance of taking your time, even though every softball pitcher has their different deliveries. That's just good patience by Navarro, gathering herself up, looking at her wrists, and just delivering the right pitch. In this case, jamming the batter for the first out.
Here's Rivas, first pitch swinging, fouls it back, 0-1. Rivas, a native of Whittier, California, struggling this season, 2 for 16. Struck out swinging her first time. She's 0 for 1. The 0-1 is up around the head of Rivas. 1-1 the count. A lot of ones on the scoreboard. 1 out, 1-1 the count, 1-1 the score in the top of the 4th.
It's not 11-11, but that's close enough.
A 1-1 misses, 2-1. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Redlands 1-1 in Skyac. LaVerne 2-0. The 2-1. It's inside, 3-1. Center fielder, right-handed batter. Rivas settles it in on her right shoulder, now picks it up.
If you're Rivas, you want to look for the right pitch. It is a hitter's count, but you also have to be patient.
3-1, healthy cut, fouled it back, 3-2.
The pitch was a little bit inside the left side of the plate, jamming Rivas right there. So if you're Navarro, let's see what Navarro goes with in this payoff pitch.
Now the 3rd full count that Navarro has been in. 1 out, base is empty. Payoff pitch to Rivas is pulled foul to the left side. That one a little bit farther inside, and still Rivas was able to get her hands through and yank it foul.
In scenarios like that, as a batter, that's when it's even more important to stay balanced and not only have a good eye, but lowering the bat as well. Tipping that ball.
Fouled off to the left side yet again. Three and 2 to count, 1 out, base is empty. Gordon led off the inning, flying out to Condon in center field. And Rivas with 1 out represents the go-ahead run. In a 1-1 game, the payoff pitch misses inside, so Rivas walks. Second walk allowed by Navarro in this game.
Navarro went back with that inside pitch again, but Rivas just did a nice job being more patient and not keeping her eye off the ball while reading that pitch well, drawing the walk for the Bulldogs.
The senior shortstop, Jordan Smith now. 1 out with a runner at first. First pitch misses away, 1-0. Smith lined out to the shortstop in her first at bat, 0-1. One the score, top of the 4th, Navarro into the wind. The 1-0 is poked to the right side. Underwood steps on the bag at first. The go-ahead run moves up to second base now in scoring position.
Good decision by Underwood to not throw the ball towards second, as LaVerne wasn't in the right position for that for that third out attempt, but now there's 2 outs. You're Navarro, even though you have a woman in scoring position. You have the patience. Patience and communication is key, especially with the go-ahead runner on second base.
Moran ahead of the count, 1-0. She reached the first time on a drop third strike and then was promptly thrown out trying to steal second base. The 1-0 with 2 outs. Inside corner, 1-1. Moran 0 for 1 today. Has a chance at the bottom of the lineup in the 8th spot to give this Redlands team their first lead of the game. Puts it in play in the middle of the infield. The shortstop, Giannatasio, calls everyone off, makes it about 2 feet in front of the second base bag for out number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 4th, still tied up at 1 apiece. Both pitchers in a pitcher's duel early on.
Yeah, definitely with only 1 run by both sides. And as for Navarro right there, she was able to get to jam the hitter once again and get that easy pop-up. As for Stanzione for Redlands, she's having herself a game as well.
It'll be 4, 5, and 6. Middle of the lineup due up for LaVerne in the bottom of the 4th. Kendricks, Garcia, and Ogata. 3 seniors who are trying to do something, Nicolette, and that is win 4 consecutive regular season SCIAC championships. And you had a chance to chat with them and even interview them for the article that you wrote a week ago. What did you get from those players?
Well, when I talked to them last Saturday, I asked them about what was their mindset going into not just the season, but especially SCIAC play. And they've constantly tell the team themselves, Coach Henry, they've been discussing the importance of staying composed and humble, especially because with already 3-peating, everyone's trying to go after them. So that's why, as with seniors who won each year, it could be easy to lose track. Oh, we're gonna win it all again, but it's important. They emphasize the importance of bonding as a team on the field, but also off the field. In sports, you can bond all you want on a court or field, but if your chemistry is a little off when you're not practicing or when you're not playing, it draws off the whole team, and the morale is down. So that's why it's important with this heart of the lineup to be that model for everyone else.
1-1 the count to Sienna Kendricks. The right fielder off to a hot start. .667 batting average coming into today's game, which was first in SCIAC. Danzione, the righty. Her 1-1 is foul to the right side, a little bit off speed, 1-2. And Kendricks, for her standards, kind of had a little bit of a down season, batted .250 compared to .400 her first year and .323 in her second year. And she's come out with a vengeance in her senior year, Nicolette.
I mean, yeah, definitely, especially at your final year. And she graduated early as well, so taking school off of her plate to focus solely on a sport, in particular softball in this case, and it's her final year. You want to go all out. You're gonna have that. Okay, I'm hungry. She's hungry, and she's hungry for that potential 4th peat.
The 1-2 to Kendricks, misses outside, 2-2. Lifetime against Redlands. Sienna Kendricks bats .361, 13 hits and 36 at bats. In 10 games, she has hit safely in 8 of them against Redlands. The 2-2 misses outside, 3-2. That's the first full count that a LaVerne hitter has gotten at the plate. Stanzione has given up 3 hits. 2 of them have gone for extra bases. The home run to Underwood and the double to Ogata. The payoff pitch is whacked into center field. Kendricks gets aboard with a leadoff single.
Excellent patience right there by Kendricks as she was waiting for that pitch, and that was just a couple inches off the middle of the plate, and she was ready for that pitch. Stayed balanced, followed through, good contact to get on base.
Melissa Garcia in her second at bat, 0 for 1 today, building upon her best season last year. Came into today batting .308. First pitch to Garcia is high, 1-0. Kendricks at first, he reached on the leadoff single. Has 1 career stolen base and has been caught once. The 1-0 to Garcia. Off speed, 2-0. For the first time now we're seeing Stanzione falling behind some LaVerne hitters.
If you're Garcia, this is good hitters count for you, and I've spoke with her last week as well, and it definitely a key for her is just to be more, as she mentioned, was being more consistent and get, as she's ahead of, when she's ahead of the count. She did so last week, go ahead to run double to seal the deal. Game 2 against Cal Lutheran, 6-4. She's still got some time here, but similar scenario right now.
2-1, misses outside, 3-1. And when you're ahead of the count, you can just pick a spot that you like to swing. And if the pitch is there, you let it fly. If not, you don't worry about it. 1 strike is not going to harm you. Ahead of the count again, 3-1 the count. Stanzione in her 4th inning. The 3-1 gets the strike call, kind of a late call. Garcia was getting ready to head to first. So back-to-back full counts to Kendricks and Garcia. Nobody out in the bottom of the 4th in a 1-1 game. Payoff pitch to Garcia is put in play in shallow center field. Nobody's going to get there. So back-to-back singles. Something cooking for this LaVerne team in the bottom of the 4th. 2-on, nobody out. And Rachel Ogata checking in.
That's just LaVerne, good patience by Garcia and LaVerne as a team as well. And as we have a little break right here for a little pitching visit for Redlands. Stanzione struggling right here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Two players on base, no outs. Coach Ortega's just telling him most likely to just relax, to calm down, and again trusting the defense and trusting her pitches as well, as she's been performing very well this game, but hitting a little bit of a small little wall right here. Not quite a brick wall, but a barbed wall, sort of. Barbed wire wall.
So Rachel Ogata, the lefty, will bat with nobody out and 2 on base. Go ahead run at second in Sienna Kendricks. At first is Melissa Garcia. They both singled to begin the game. We're going to have a pinch runner for Kendricks at second base. It's going to be Tawny Mack. So Tawny Mack will be a pinch runner for Kendricks at second. Infield in. The throw back to second. They nearly got Mack going back to second base.
Mack was lucky right there as she took a little too much of a big step right after the pitch, as the pitch was there and was almost got tagged out on the way back.
The 1-0, Ogata squares, bunts it, foul. 1-1 the count to Rachel Ogata.
Ogata is excellent in bunting. She's gotten a few base hits throughout her career per season as bunts, infield hits because of bunting. So
Third baseman Tarosian, about halfway in, as well as the first baseman Ogata with a full swing to the left side, foul, 1-2. So now with 2 strikes, do you leave the bunt on?
I would be careful because if for some, you have to be very confident if you're bunting if you want to do this. Even though it's 2-man, no outs, if you do hit it out of bounds, you're out. So I wouldn't do it.
1-2's outside, 2-2.
General rule of thumb, in my opinion, if you have 2 strikes, unless you're that confident and you know you can do it, just lay it off. Especially unless you're up by several runs, which you don't really need a bunt. But in a scenario like this, one a game later in second half of the game, don't do it.
The 2-2 is swung on to the left side. Long dive. Unable to get it was Rivas. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Max scores on the long RBI single by Rachel Ogata. It would have been extra bases. Garcia had a hold up at second. And LaVerne with a 2-1 lead.
Good clutch hit by Ogata right there, as a good effort by Redlands outfield, but just couldn't catch the ball. But also they did a good job of getting that ball back into the infield quickly, only allowing a single instead of an extra base hit.
So the pinch runner, Tawny Mack, is cashed in on the single. Went all the way in to left center field.
That's also the importance of outfield shifts as well. As Rivas, the ball was out of Rivas's reach, but Mace was right there and was able to quickly throw it back in as well.
LaVerne will elect to go with another pinch runner. It'll be Francesca Juarez, pinch running for Melissa Garcia at second. Carly Condon, the center fielder, squares to bunt, fouls it, 0-1. Still nobody out in the bottom of the fourth, 2-1 LaVerne. With 2 on base, looking for more.
Very good scenario here if you're LaVerne, but you also have to be careful as well. Be very patient with the bunting and making sure that it's in place.
The throw back, and they got Juarez diving back into second base. Heads up play by Siegel, the catcher, and she just threw a strike down there to the covering second baseman Moran.
That's great defense on both Siegel and Moran right there, and Juarez just took a little too long to get back to second, as she was about to go back, but then she froze for a second, and even though she only froze for a little bit, that makes a difference, especially if you have a catcher with an arm.
A couple of fans getting frustrated. 1-2 the count to Condon. With 1 out, Ogata at first. A 1-2, Condon swings, puts it in play to the right side. Long run for the second baseman, Moran. And she makes an amazing catch running out there in shallow right field.
If you're Redlands, this is very ideal and a very good situation now. You were just down with no outs and 2 men on base. You threw 1 out. You got one of LaVerne's prolific hitters to to pop up. Now you're in a scenario with 2 outs and just only 1 on base.
Giannatasio checks in. First pitch, outside 1-0. You mentioned in low-scoring games, defensive plays matter all that much more. You had the picked-off runner, Juarez, at second base for the first out, and then the nice athletic play in shallow right field by the second baseman, Moran, for the out number 2. Foul tipped at the plate, 1-1. Giannatasio 0 for 1. Grounded out to the shortstop in her first appearance. Ogata at first. She singled in. Connie Mack, and Giannatasio swings, drives it to right field. The right fielder, Lars, makes the catch for the final out, but LaVerne gets a run on 3 hits. They left 1 on base. 2-1 the score, headed into the 5th inning now.
Now, if you're LaVerne, even though you did get a run, as a coach, I would personally still be a little definitely not satisfied, because while it is good, any run you can get throughout the game is good, but the fact that you left originally 2 people on base with no outs, and then with back-to-back outs, a throw out, and a nice athletic play on the defensive side, and then a 3rd out with only 1 person on base, that's very frustrating, not only as a player, but as a coach to see, especially when you have a very powerful offense, very consistent, strong offense on LaVerne's side. And if you're on the Redlands side, if you're Ortega, you got to be very proud of your defense right here.
We enter 19. We enter 19.
A chance for Navarro to get a shutdown inning. Her team giving her a lead once again, 2-1. Heading into the 5th inning.
This is when, as a pitcher, it matters. This is the time where you have to be even not just careful, but selective and ready. Not only is it the top of the 5th, but with coming off a bottom inning as the one we've just witnessed, more responsibility will be handed towards the pitcher to get back. It always starts with the pitcher, since she's the first one to have the ball. She's the leader of, aside from the captain, she's the lieutenant on the field.
Rainey Lars swinging on the first pitch, lofts a little pop-up to the shortstop, Giannatasio, for out number 1.
1 pitch, 1 out. One pitch, 1 out is a perfect example right there. Quick out, get that little momentum for LaVerne. 2 more outs, and also as a pitcher builds up your confidence. So.
Especially with Navarro struggling finding her location early on throughout the entire game. You get 1 pitch, 1 out in the 5th inning. Good for her confidence. Lineup turns over. Haley DeMoss, 2 for 2 with a triple and a double. Ahead of the count, 1-0. She scored the only run for Redlands back in the 3rd. She tripled with 1 out and then came across the score on the Siegel single. The 1-0 misses outside, 2-0. Haley DeMasse, the freshman outfielder. With the count in her favor, 3-0.
If you're DeMasse, you have a lot of flexibility. The pitch is there like any other count, any other 3-0. Swing, go for it, and if not, then you're pretty much chilling. If you're Navarro, you have to go for a strike pretty much.
And finds it on the outside corner, 3-1. DeMasse, the lefty, has been the one hitter that has really done any damage against Navarro. Only 3 hits for Redlands, and 2 of them off of the left-handed bat of Demase. The 3-1 from Navarro. Finds the strike zone. Beautiful pitch. 3-2.
Back-to-back strikes right there. Full counts. Still have a little bit of flexibility despite the full count. You could go back with a similar pitch off speed. You can go with high.
Payoff pitch with 1 out, and she lost her. So 3rd walk administered for the day, and Demase represents the tying run at first base. She's 2 for 2 in stolen bases early on this season. With a 1-run game with 1 out, look for her to be in motion.
Going off of that, Redlands is tied for 3rd in Skyak with 4 stolen bases coming into the game. So look for the Bulldogs to be more aggressive, as we've mentioned.
0-1 to Siegel, the left-handed hitting catcher. Going with 1 batting glove on the upper hand on the bat. Takes a ball outside, 1-1. The lefty waits, bat on her shoulder. Crouches, raises the bat, waits. The 1-1 is in the dirt. There goes the runner down to second. And she easily swiped her 3rd bag of the season. And now she's in scoring position at second base, representing the tying run for the number 2 hitter, Siegel.
If you're a base runner, that's a perfect scenario right there. Off-speed pitch in the dirt makes it harder for the catcher. Gives the catcher a lot less time to pick it up. Easy steal.
And this one gets off the hands of Navarro in the dirt, 3-1. And we saw Grani throw out 1 runner back in the 2nd to get more on. Gave it a good shot at getting Demase. 3-1, inside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks, 1st and 2nd for Redlands. A go-ahead run at first now.
Navarro's command is definitely struggling this early as Grani's going out to the mound to talk to her. Look for a pitching visit, soon, if not now, sooner or later.
One out. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Demase at 2nd. Siegel at 1st. Sanchez, the hitter, is 0 for 1. She walked in her first plate appearance and then flew out to center field. As the righty rocks the bat off of her shoulder. Takes a strike on the outside portion of the plate. 0-1 the count. J.C. Sanchez, a junior from Lakewood, has 8 hits, 2 of which have gone for extra bases. She'll have a chat with her coach.
Basically being selective and trying to find the right area to hit up the middle for example, up the middle right now would be very ideal.
The 0-1 from Navarro is swung on, put in play to the left side. Ogata coming on in, making the catch for out number 2. So it'll be up to the cleanup hitter, Jessica Tarosian, with 2 on and 2 out. Tying run at 2nd, go-ahead run at 1st. Navarro trying to escape a jam here in the 5th that she got herself into, walking back-to-back hitters with 1 out. Terosian 0 for 2. Takes the ball 1-0. On deck is Tyson Gordon, who's 0 for 2, but flew out to center field on a line both times. Navarro's 1-0. Inside corner, 1-1.
It's a good inside pitch right there. Makes it a little hard. That makes it hard for a right-handed hitter to really crush it.
She has 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. Her 1-1 is foul to the left side, 1-2. So now a strike away of working her way out of trouble and keeping that lead that her team just got her in the last half inning. 2-1 to score. LaVerne in the top of the 5th with 2 outs.
Definitely some pressure here for Navarro. Yeah, Navarro, as she looks to get that strikeout.
The 1-2 is ripped foul to the left side.
1-2 count. You have a lot of flexibility right here, even though despite this, the scenario may be different as Coach Rachel is calling a pitcher's visit and also more of an infield visit. As you can see, they're crouching in, which is which you typically don't see at pitcher's visits, but this is more than just for Navarro. This is a coaching sign to engage the whole infield. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're doing, engaging them, making sure everyone's on the same page, and also hyping each other up, because it's not always some people tend to forget that it's always on the pitcher, it's always on the catcher, but it's a team effort. It's on the infield as well.
And recognizing the importance of the next pitch, 1-2, tying run at second, go ahead run at first in a 2-1 game. The 1-2 is drilled foul to the left side. That was just a matter of staying fair, but it was well foul and deep.
Terosian just missed it too. How she gone for it a second earlier, that probably would have been out of the ballpark.
Terosian, the freshman, has 1 home run this year. Navarro's 1-2 with 2 outs. It's low 2-2. The longest at bat from Terosian. Struck out on 3 pitches and then lined out on 1 pitch in her second at bat. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count, 2-1 LaVerne in the top of the 5th. Navarro's 2-2 is swung on and fouled back. We'll do it once more.
Terosian's doing a nice job right there, battling the pitcher, tiring Navarro out and getting a piece of that, even at the pitches that are a little out of her hitting comfort zone.
Chokes up on the bat ever so lightly. The 2-2 is fouled down the left side and got into the protective netting. A great effort by Borden at third to come on in and give it a look.
Just at the last second, one of her cleats just ever so lightly just slid off a little bit, and she ran it a little too much. But of course, you don't want to hit yourself into the net or even the wall. So good effort, just barely short.
The long battle continues. The 2-2 is outside, 3-2. With 2 outs, runners will be going. Tomase representing the tying run at second. Siegel representing the go-ahead run at first. Both reached on walks. 2 outs, top of the 5th, 2-1 LaVerne. Navarro trying to escape a jam here in the 5th. The payoff pitch to Terosian is fouled to the left side. Borden sliding near her dugout, and she was not able to make the catch.
Even though she didn't make the catch or nothing, it was just a simple foul ball, that's still good. That's still good for not only for Borden, but for the team. Hustle, even just simple hustle plays, help engage the momentum, help the little energy. It also gives Navarro confidence that if some reason it's reachable for the defense and the pitch was not in her favor, she's trusting shows trust in the defense.
Not giving up easy. The payoff pitch is pulled foul to the left side. We will do it once more. Gordon on deck is smiling a little bit, recognizing this great battle by her teammate Tarosian at the plate.
Absolutely, you're just tired. You're a batter. You're just tiring out the pitcher. So even if, let's just say, for example, she's out, you're tiring the pitcher. You're giving them the opportunity to have fatigue catch up to them. Their command might be off. The velocity will be off a little more.
Here we go once again. The payoff pitch to Tarosian is fouled behind the plate. Into the protective netting once again. And typically in these long at-bats, you give the benefit of the doubt to the hitter.
Absolutely, because that's just patience. That's also recognizing the pitches, staying balanced on your feet, using your power and contact, and having a good eye as well.
Navarro into rewind. The payoff pitch with 2 outs is hit foul to the left side once again. And now Tarosian is smiling a little bit as she'll head back to the plate. Inning began with Lars popping out to the shortstop. DeMassa and Siegel would each walk. JC Sanchez would fly out to left field, and Tarosian is at the plate, a chance to give her team the lead, and they call strike 3 on the inside corner. Catherine Navarro escapes a huge jam in the top of the 5th with the tying run at second and the go-ahead run at first.
That's great location, great communication between Navarro and her catcher right there, and especially as a pitcher, that's a very good feeling of relief as you've battled long double-digit pitches, tiring you out, and to get that last-minute call right there. And good location by Grani as well, locating her glove at the corner, the bottom left corner, getting that call for the final strike. Also building momentum for LaVerne going into the bottom half as well. May have been out there for a long time, but again, like I said, softball is very slow paced, so anything can happen, and it gives you the opportunity to hype yourself up compared to a more fast-paced sport where you have to just go in right away.
And how difficult is it for Stanzione, who was having to sit in the visiting dugout for a long time while her team was trying to get her back into the game, and now has to go out there and put up another 0 as her team trails 2-1.
For an offensive standpoint, it's good, but if you're the opposing pitcher, it's not, because she was sitting, as you mentioned, she was sitting there for quite a while in the top inning, and as a pitcher, even if you wrap your arm in a towel, which is why in softball and baseball pitchers, even if it's hot, it's not hot right now, but even if it's in a hot setting, they wrap their arms up to keep it warm, keep the blood circulating. Even if that's done, especially with the weather in SoCal right now, that's a little bit on the chillier side, that could freeze up your arm and throw her off a little bit.
She misses on the first pitch to Borden, 1-0.
So if you're the LaVerne offense, it's important to take advantage of this.
Borden reached on a hit by pitch in her first plate appearance. The 1-0 is swung on and lofted into center field. Retreating to the warning track is Rivas for out number 1.
Little relief right there for Stanzione as just a quick, she has a very quick out. Not only does that build her confidence in herself, but in her arm as well.
Mendoza checks in now for her third at bat. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Mendoza's 0 for 2, lined into a double play in her last at bat. 0-1, didn't offer at it, 1-1. In the bottom of the 5th, LaVerne leading 2-1 over Redlands. The 1-1 with 1 away and the base is empty. Mendoza pokes it foul to the right side, 1-2.
That's when, as a catcher, especially with an inning, with like at the top of the inning, communication is more key than ever. It's scenarios like that, just because you're helping. Yes, you're trusting the pitcher; she knows her stuff, but you're also having to help. You're helping her decide which pitches work in her advantage, especially with being out for so long.
Mendoza comes up empty, strikes out swinging for out number 2. So it looked like the long delay for Stanzione didn't have anything bother her. 2 up, 2 down, and quickly.
That's just great location, great delivery. Velocity was dipping down to get LaVerne's batters to swing at even pitches that look questionable from a fan's perspective, and just great patience by Stanzione and Redlands as a whole, and give credit also to the coaches as well for engaging them. As a coach, you have to. There's multiple coaches, so you engage in them. While there's 2 in the first and third, you have the other to talk to the pitcher. To engage the other players who are in the dugout.
Stanzione facing her toughest hitter in Underwood, who's 2 for 2 with a home run and a single, but is behind in the count 0-2. Stanzione is 1 out away from getting her first 1-2-3 inning. Has given up a hit in all 4, including 3 in the last inning, but only surrendered 1 run. The 0-2 to Underwood is high, 1-2.
Stanzione gets this out for Redlands. That would build even more. That's a great momentum builder for the Bulldogs as they will be up to bat the top of the 6th.
Stanzione into the winder, 1-2, misses outside, 2-2. That time Siegel was set up outside of the plate.
Try to get out of Underwood's reach, which it is, but just barely missed the strike zone by inches.
The 2-2 with 2 outs is put in play into shallow center field. Rivas makes the catch for the final out. A 1-2-3 inning from Nicole Stanzione. We will go to the 6th, 2-1 LaVerne. So a shutdown inning from Stanzione.
That's very impressive, especially after the long at-bat between Navarro and Tarosian at the top of the 5th. As a pitcher, you're probably feeling a little chilly or cold, and to get a 1-2-3 inning like that is impressive, regardless of the weather circumstances.
5, 6, and 7 due up for Redlands in the 6th inning. They're combined 0 for 5 with 1 walk. The bottom of the lineup has struggled, Nicolette. They have no hits the only hits coming from the top 2 hitters from Redlands today.
So if you're Redlands, that's why it's important to take advantage. Now that you've tired out Navarro a little bit more, take advantage of a fatigued pitcher and be patient at the plate. Look for the right pitch and trust yourselves. And that way when your big hitters come up, get people on base and increased potential to do more damage.
2-1 the score. The game began in the bottom of the first with Underwood hitting a solo home run with 1 out to give LaVerne a 1-0 lead. Redlands would tie it up in the third with an RBI single from Siegel driving in DeMace after she hit a triple. And then LaVerne would regain their lead in the 4th inning on the RBI single by Ogata to bring in Tawny Mack, who came in to pinch run for Kendricks at second. And we are at the score 2-1 in the top of the 6th. Bases cleared. Leading off the 6th for Redlands is Gordon. She's 0 for 2, a couple of flyouts to Condon in center. Navarro's first pitch is going to get Gordon, and so there's the tying run aboard on the first pitch.
That pitch was just way off, out of velocity and command, so that's a sign right there that the fatigue is really showing, and also a little bit of some pressure inside building her. Regardless of this experience, whether you're up by 1 or 2 or down by 2, and as the game is coming closer, you're going to feel a little bit of pressure in your chest or your mind. So that's why, as they had a little break, a little quick mound visit, ensuring that she's in her head and her mind and ready to just move on and trust herself.
Sam Rivas, the righty, awaits 0 for 1 with the strikeout and a walk. The coach is going to chat with the home plate umpire. They're going to have a pinch runner for Redlands. It'll be Julianne Rodriguez pinch running for Tyson Gordon.
7 for 10. Pinch running for Redlands, number 7, Julianne Rodriguez.
Gives Redlands more speed on the base, and look for them to be more aggressive on base running as well.
And a very fast runner as the pitch is fouled back. 0-1 the count to Rivas. Nicolette, last season, Julianne Rodriguez was a perfect 21 for 21 in stolen bases for this Redlands ball club.
Wow. And if you're Redlands, that's a good decision by our taker right there. You have you're not only your fastest, but your best base runner this late in the game. If you're LaVerne, be very on the watch.
And there she goes. The throw down is not in time. She swipes the bag easily. And she's in scoring position now with nobody out in the top of the 6th.
Redlands and that's just a good base running and good decision making by Redlands. Good effort by Grani. Has a good catch release and a good tag, but just couldn't get it in on time, and hence a stolen base. And now, go ahead, the tying run. Excuse me, it's on second base. Scoring position.
1-1 misses outside. 2-1 to Rivas. Rivas walked in her last plate appearance against Navarro. Navarro has walked 4 batters, has hit 1. With 5 strikeouts. Trying to hang on to her 1-run lead. The 2-1 is bunted foul behind the plate, 2-2. Good idea by Rivas to move up the tying run 60 feet away from the plate.
That's when utility players like Rodriguez on second are crucial to softball. you can play versatile. You can play a bunch of positions. You can play so much, and then you utilize them at the right moments, like such as this one right here.
2-2 misses high, 3-2. Rivas, 2 for 16, batting below 200 to start the year. Desperately wanting to wake up for her team, fouls this one back off the netting. Will remain at 3-2. Inning began with Gordon getting hit on the first pitch from Navarro. It would have a pinch runner for Gordon. Rodriguez would swipe second. Now Rivas is at the dish with a full count. Navarro toes the plate, the 3-2, outside, ball 4. Her 5th walk of the game.
Good patience by Rivas, and as you look right here on the screen, LaVerne's infill is in a little bit, in a couple more steps than they were in the previous at bat, just because giving respect to the Rodriguez's speed, but now with two on, first and second, nobody out. Expect a bunt.
Jordan Smith gets the bunt down, and it just stays there. A throw over to first to get Smith. A beautiful bunt. It just stopped right there, didn't even move.
That's not only science, but just very good. That's when it really comes in clutch. Bunting is a very key, crucial part of baseball and softball, and sometimes often not coached, I've noticed, and a lot, and preached among the younger levels. But here, in this case, with 2 on, that's why it's always teams do practice for scenarios like this. Bunting's important, even if you're fast and you want to get an infield single, advance the runners. Now there's 2 on, 2 and third, second and third, 1 out. Double play is out, almost out of play right here. So that's why if you're LaVerne, especially Navarro, it's important to be selective and composed.
Redlands electing to go to their bench. Aya Smith, the pinch hitter for Moran, takes a strike, 0-1. Smith 0 for 5 in the season, looking to collect her first hit. And in a key spot in the top of the 6th, tying run 60 feet away at third is Rodriguez. The go-ahead run is Rivas at second. Navarro's 0-1 is outside, 1-1. Aya Smith, the freshman from Redlands, California, playing for her hometown college. Two to 1 LaVerne in the top of the 6th, 1 out. The 1-1 is fouled to the left side and out of play. 1-2 the count. Moran was 0 for 2. And Coach Ortega wanted to try things with Aya Smith. No batting gloves for Smith. Chokes up on the bat. As Coach Ortega looks on. The 1-2 to Navarro. From Navarro is called strike 3 to get the pinch hitter in, Smith, for a big out number 2.
Perfect location, perfect pitch. Right inside left side of the plate, inside the left part of the plate, catching that strike zone, the middle of the strike zone, and very, very hard to hit as a right-handed batter. Now you have 2 outs, still have 2 in scoring position, but it gives you a little more flexibility on your pitches while still keeping your foot on the pedal.
Coach Ortega is emptying out his bench as much as he can here in a crucial spot in the top of the 6th, tying and go-ahead run at 3rd and 2nd. And Rihanna Curtis, the pinch hitter, will check in. First pitch to Curtis is inside 1-0. Curtis, the sophomore from Upland, has 4 hits in 10 at-bats, a .400 average. No runs batted in this year, and a crucial time for her to get those first ones out of the way.
That's why if you're Navarro, it's important to be more selective since a pitcher hasn't really seen a lot of the bench.
1-0 is fouled and well hit to the left side. 1-1 the count. Redlands have scored 1 run on 3 hits. They have left 6 runners on. They have 2 on right now. The tying run, Rodriguez at 3rd. Go-ahead run at 2nd in Rivas. And this one's put in play, a base hit into center field. Tying the game is Rodriguez, and now Redlands takes the lead on the 2 RBI single by the clutch pinch hit by Rihanna Curtis.
That pitch was just very, very hittable part of the plate. Took up most of, almost central part of the plate, and for especially a right-handed hitter, that's an ideal location. And Curtis was ready for that pitch, launching, staying balanced on her feet, following through, utilizing her strength to pull the trigger up the middle and score, being clutch, getting those 2 runs and taking the lead for Redlands.
And now Redlands with their first lead in today's game, 3-2. And it came with 2 outs in the top of the 6th, courtesy of Rihanna Curtis, who is now pitched ran for by the person who she pinched hit for. Ronnie Lars will pinch run at first, and the lineup turns over. First pitch to Demas misses. 1-0 the count. Redlands 3, LaVerne 2. Kind of suck the energy out of the air. The 1-0 from Navarro is fouled. 1-1. Masse has reached base all 3 times, a double, a triple, and a walk.
With Tomase being so successful offensively today, look for Navarro to be a little more aggressive but conservative.
Swing and a miss. The throw down by Agrani was a little too late. Lars swipes second. He's in scoring position now at second base. 1-2 the count for Haley DeMace.
That's why I feel LaVerne, it's important to still be hyped and have that internal energy right there with 2 strikes and 2 outs.
1-2's fouled back to the left side. In out of play. Infield plays Demase straight up the outfield, shading her towards left center field, giving her all right center field to work with.
As you can see, Garcia taking her time a little more, being aware of that scenario.
The 1-2 to Demase's outside, 2-2. The 2 runs that came in to score were reached by a hit by pitch and a walk to begin the 6th. Took a 2-out, 2 RBI single to give them the 2 runs. This one gets behind Grani off the backstop. And now Lars is at third, 60 feet away.
Navarro just lost control of that ball. And that fastball right there going over Grani's glove. advancing Lars to third.
Full count to Haley DeMasse. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3, the 7th strikeout of the game for Navarro. But the damage was done. Rihanna Curtis off the bench for Coach Ortega. Delivered a clutch 2-out, 2 RBI single to Cashin Rodriguez and Rivas to give Redlands a 3-2 lead, Nicolette, heading into the bottom of the 6th.
If you're LaVerne, now that's when if you're the LaVerne offense, you have to not only pick it up, but you have to be more patient because not only are you're only down by 1, but you've been up for majority of the game. And you give it up last almost towards the end with only half an inning left. Navarro with the beautiful pitch, high fastball right there to end the inning, to give LaVerne some hope and light. It's still with 2 innings for them left to hit.
Bottom of the 6th. It'll be 3, 4, and 5. Navarro, Kendricks, and Garcia to do battle against Stanzione, who has been moving along quite well, getting stronger as the game progressed. Had her first 1-2-3 inning in her last go and has retired the last 5 LaVerne hitters.
So as a pitcher, you're in an ideal position, and as a team, you're in a bigger. This is a perfect scenario right here. You're going off a very well done offensive performance. The top inning, the pitcher's pitching was starting to pick it up, which, as you mentioned, retiring 5 batters in a row. When both sides of the ball are on fire, that's very ideal for a team. Let's see if they could continue that, silencing LaVerne's big hitters coming up.
And Catherine Navarro getting a chance to make up for giving up the lead in the last half inning. Always dangerous at the plate. Swings at the first one. That one's fouled back hard. 0-1.
As we just saw that swing right there, the pitch was a little bit out of the zone as well. It was well out of the zone also. So these past few innings have definitely shown, not only tired her and just drained her as a pitcher, but as a hitter too.
Navarro getting underneath this one, fouling it to the left side and out of play. In the hole, 0-2.
So let's see if she can pick it up right here in this rest of this appearance right here for LaVerne.
Stanzione, only 1 strikeout, no walks, has let her defense work. The 0-2 is foul to the right side. Count remains 0-2. What have you liked from Stanzione this game?
Even though the numbers may be low on the strikeouts, as you've mentioned, I've liked her composure. I've liked how LaVerne, even though LaVerne would start off really hot, which they normally do, and even in that stretch where LaVerne was scoring, getting runners on base, etc., she was also trusting her defense, and that's also important as a pitcher. That doesn't, just because your strikeout game's low doesn't mean you're not doing anything.
Navarro gets on base. It gets past the right fielder, going underneath the legs of Lars, and Navarro is on second base. Just when you were mentioning the defense of Redlands, Nicolette. First error on their side. And now LaVerne has the tying run at second base in scoring position, courtesy of a base hit into the right field, and then followed by the error by Lars.
Aside from me potentially jinxing Lars right there, those little mental mistakes kill a vibe from all aspects of the team, but particularly the pitcher. It was already a strong hit, a poor pitch location right there. Only a single, but an additional error causes more bases and puts more pressure on Stanzione.
And in steps the hot-hitting Sienna Kendricks. Came up empty on a big cut on the first pitch. 0-1 the count. She represents the go-ahead run at the plate, tying run in Navarro at second. Three runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Redlands. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for LaVerne. In the bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Redlands. Tying run at second. Kendricks at the plate. The pitch is outside, 1-1. Kendricks 1 for 2 today. Singled and then reached second base and then was pinched ran for. The pinch runner, Tawny Mack, would eventually score LaVerne's second run off of the RBI single by Ogata. The 1-1, off speed, in outside, 2-1. And sometimes in these situations with the tying run at second, nobody out, they would elect to go with a bunt to try to move the runner up 60 feet. But with Kendrick's bat, you let her swing. 2-1, she rips it into left field. Navarro's gonna get the green light. The throw home is not in time. Navarro is safe. And Sienna Kendricks has tied this game up at 3 in the bottom of the 6th.
That is why you don't elect Kendricks to bunt right there, right there. 667, as you mentioned, on the you go into the game. The clutch hit, tying the game, being patient with her stance, keeping an eye on the ball and just whacking it into left field for a game-tying double. If you're LaVerne, that's the perfect. Obviously you're building momentum, and you had the right person to do it as well.
It was a good throw by Haley DeMasse from left field. A perfect throw right on line to Siegel, the catcher. And the catch was there, the transfer and everything, the tag was applied, but the home plate umpire said that Navarro's feet touched the home before the tag was administered. Bang, bang play. And we have ourselves a 3-3 game here in the bottom of the 6th. Still nobody out for LaVerne.
That's the exciting part about softball, is a play like that when a person is running down, the player's running down the line, sliding to home, and you have a moment in between the catcher and the runner to get that tag, and there's no instant replay, so no one can reverse it. And as you mentioned, LaVerne has Kendricks in second, no one out, you're in good position, and with Garcia up to bat.
So Kendricks, the RBI single, advanced to second on the throw home. Melissa Garcia will re-enter the game. She was pinched ran for by Juarez, who would get picked off second base. So we have a new pitcher on the mound for Redlands. Mika Emoto has been terrific this year. 1.17 ERA in 1 start. Had 6 innings. Gave up only 1 run. And against LaVerne, she's had the most experience against LaVerne. She's 0-1 with an ERA at 10-10.
That's when, as LaVerne, you have success against Emoto. Take advantage of the circumstances and just keep playing.
First pitch to Garcia's low, 1-0. A go-ahead run is at second base in Sienna Kendricks. Melissa Garcia's at the plate. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th in a 3-3 game. Moto's second pitch misses, 2-0. The 2-0 from Emoto finds the strike zone, 2-1. So it's a valiant effort by Stanzione. Really hung in there the entire time and just maybe ran out a little bit of gas in the 6th inning. 2-1, dip slow, 3-1.
Despite, yeah, exactly. Despite the score, Stanzione carried himself very, very well. Job done very well throughout this game, especially against with an offense that's extremely consistent and strong, all parts of the lineup.
5-pitch walk from Emoto. Garcia's at first for Rachel Ogata. Ogata's a perfect 2 for 2, a double and an RBI single. Chance to give LaVerne the lead. She's been in these situations time after time after time again. Even in the clutchest of situations where it was SCIAC championship on the line, and has come through.
If she's able to do that at a championship game, her odds are pretty high at a regular season early SCIAC play right here. And this is when LaVerne, you have a big advantage. Right here. Your more experienced players that are up to bat, on deck. 2 on, no one out.
A throw back at second. Kendricks is back in there safely. Don't want to test the arm of Siegel. She has shown time and time again that she has a decent arm behind the plate.
Absolutely. You want to be a little risky and aggressive, go ahead and do that, but it's a little risky to do that now this late, even though it is tied and you're trying to win, get that victory, and go and start off 3-0 in conference play.
2-0 the count to Ogata. Pinch runner at first is Tony Lozano. At second is Kendricks. He represents the go-ahead run. Ogata squares the bunt and pulled it back. 3-0 the count to Ogata. So after coming in for Stanzione, Emoto has struggled. Walked to Garcia on 5 pitches and now behind, and has walked Ogata on 4 pitches. And that'll load the bases for the senior center fielder, Condon.
Excellent opportunity right here for LaVerne to get runs. No one, bases loaded, no one out. An experienced veteran up to bat. If you're LaVerne, it's definitely important to get those runs. And if you come up empty-handed, that's how you know it's a disappointing time.
And Carly Condon, coming into today, has struggled against this Redlands team time and time again. Nicolette coming into today, she has a 100 average, 3 for 30 against Redlands.
Pressure is definitely on her more, and she knows she struggles came as she played against Redlands throughout the years. So this little delay, this pitching right here, all these switches could be an advantage obviously for Redlands a bit, but this gives Condon time to prepare, get a look at the pitcher.
And the new pitcher on the mound is going to be Lindsay Mifsud, who we figured would probably be the starter for Game 2 of this doubleheader. She's 1-2 on the year with a 6.3 ERA, but she has the most experience against LaVerne. 34 innings pitched, a 1.63 ERA posted against this LaVerne team. She's got 3 wins and 2 losses against them. With a 1.63, it's kind of rare that you see that she's even got 2 losses. A lot of games have been low scoring with these two teams in the past. We have a 3-3 game here, a pitching duel as of late, but now the offense is getting waken up here in the later innings.
Absolutely. That's LaVerne has consistently shown that throughout this season as well. Offense may start slow, or if it doesn't, their hitters come through in the later half of the inning. As for Mifsud, her experience, and even though you just mentioned a 3-2 record, her low ERA, that's why, as a pitcher, when looking at a pitcher's stats, wins and losses don't matter 100% because it could mean a lot of things. Such an example would be Noah Syndergaard of the Mets.
1-0 the count to Condon. Condon, second team All-SCIAC a year ago. The 1-0. In the outside corner, 1-1. Condon's 0 for 2 today, so her struggles have continued against Redlands pitching. 3 for 32 lifetime against Redlands. But a chance to break out in a huge way with the bases loaded in a tie game. 3-3 bottom of the 6th. The pitch, Condon squared to bunt. And the throw back to third. They're going to get Kendricks, the lead runner, at third. A heads-up play once again by Siegel.
Excellent defense right there. Being aware of the circumstances. Foul ball. They wouldn't put foul ball, but third base runner was off, way off. Try to get back in. Quick throw. Got the go-ahead run out.
So that gets Stanzione off the hook for allowing Kendricks to reach. As Condon puts this one in play, right back at the pitcher. The throw over to first in time for out number 2. Both runners advance 60 feet. 1-3 on the out. As you see Condon giving a little bit of a chat to Giannatasio.
Shortstop, number 27.
That's good. That's good. Not only sportsmanship, but that's shows the good qualities of a leader, regardless of your year. You advance the runners. You were out. You almost kind of caused the second out, but you still walk by, give a little tips to the younger ones. That's how you do it. That's how you build momentum for the hitter, with the hitter, and the morale. That shows great traits of a leader right there.
Mifsud's 1-0. There's low 2-0. Giannatasio 0 for 2 today. First at bat against Mifsud. Both runners reached on walks from Mika Emoto. The 2-0. Outside 3-0. And Mifsud did not like the last one. Giannatasio. Big chance to give LaVerne the lead in the bottom of the 6th. 3-3 the score. Go ahead run 60 feet away at third in Tony Lozano. The 3-0 is in there, strike 1, 3-1. Giannatasio, first season with LaVerne, previously played at Riverside City College. The 3-1 is put in play. The shortstop will throw over to first, low, unable to get it, and both runs will come in to score. Heads up base running by Rachel Ogata. The throw from Smith was low. Gordon was unable to scoop it up out of the dirt, and 2 runs come in. LaVerne leading 5-3.
Interesting way to take a lead, but you gotta take the runs to take. But they'll take the runs. Great heads-up base running, as you mentioned, and being aware, just running full speed, being aware of the fail, of the scoop. Couldn't scoop it, couldn't seal the deal. 2 go-ahead runs right there.
So 2 runs cash in on the error. And if you remember, that's the second error of this inning. Navarro had a single error by the right fielder to allow her to get to second base. 0-1 to Borden. Outside 1-1.
That last one at bat right there is a perfect example of how errors kill come back to you. Not just obviously long run, but essentially short run. You gave up the lead, the tie, and it wasn't only for not by necessarily like a base hit per se, but it's the mental errors or the low throws. They add up, and they could definitely hurt a team's confidence right there.
The 1-2 is poked down the right field line. Fair ball. Borden puts it in down the right field line. Rounding third, coming on in to score on the RBI double by Borden to make it a 6-3 LaVerne lead here in the bottom of the sixth.
Good power right there by Borden as well. Didn't have a complete swing, didn't swing all the way, almost a little bit a step above a check swing, but was able to hit it out to right field as it hit towards the fence, towards the fence, allowing her to reach second base and add more runs for LaVerne, giving them a somewhat comfortable lead right here.
Mendoza checks in, takes a strike, 0-1. This is now the 8th hitter to come to the plate for LaVerne in this 6th inning. Still 2 outs. Of course, the inning was kept alive by the error on the first baseman as the ball's in the dirt. The throw down to third. Not in time. The great slide by Borden and the hang on with her hand. Outside part of the bag. She moves up now to third.
That's why softball players also work out their tips, not just for throwing and holding onto the ball, releasing the ball, holding onto the base as well.
The 1-1 to Mendoza is poked right at the second baseman. Stopped. Moran throws over to first in time to finally retire the side in the bottom of the sixth. 4 runs come in for LaVerne on 2 hits, or 3 hits rather. 1 error that costed them the most was the error by the first baseman Gordon that allowed the 2 runs to come in. LaVerne would tack on a few more. 6-3 now going in to the top of the 7th. As you're watching SCIAC Softball, LVTV3, LaVerne Community Television. Now LaVerne, Nicolette, a chance to close it out here in the top of the 7th.
Now if you're LaVerne right here, particularly Navarro, you can relax a little bit. You have a comfortable, you trust your offense has helped you get back in the game and take a somewhat comfortable lead, but don't take your foot off the gas pedal just yet. There's still an inning to go, 3 runs is still very doable to catch up. All you basically need, you're basically 1 hit away, 1 big powerful shot away from tying that game or even extending the lead as well and game as well. Now on the Redlands side, especially if you're Gordon, of course you're gonna feel really bad inside giving up that error, but in the game of softball there's no time, so that's why it's important just to shake it off, continue playing and hype up your team and also try to make up for it.
6-3 in the top of the 7th. The catcher for Redlands takes the ball outside from Navarro, 1-0. Redlands have stranded 5 runners in the past 4 innings. Total of 7 in the entire game. Navarro into rewind. The 1-0 is high, 2-0. Siegel, the lefty, 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a walk. Has reached base twice. Finds the strike zone, 2-1. And a good sign for Navarro right there. Doesn't want to fall behind 3-0.
Navarro's being a little more aggressive right here, but cautious. She's taking her time. She's a little more balanced too this so far, so that also plays an impact on your pitching and the commands up there still.
And that'll be ball 3, 3-1. She's walked 5 today. Her career high is 6, which she's done twice already this season.
Good hitters count for Siegel right here.
Siegel waving the bat, taking ball 4. The leadoff runner for Redlands will get on via the walk. 6 walks tonight for Navarro, the 3rd time this year, tying a career high. What do you think seems to be the problem with her control this season?
When I saw her pitch, I didn't see the first time that she got 6 walks, but when I saw her Cal Luther, I've noticed her form compared to last year was slightly different. Not much, but the pitching motion, the release point is a little higher, so that could definitely take in play. And also, it's a mental game. Mentally, and I personally noticed, and that long inning with that bat against Torosio, that helps. That did not help her because, again, fatigue. Fatigue plays a role. Confidence, even though she's still striking out batters, a lot of them were payoff pitches. So let's see what she does. She gets the deal here.
1-1 misses inside, 2-1. JC Sanchez 0 for 2 today, a couple of flyouts and a walk. Just trying to get on base to get the tying run up to the plate. Redlands trails by 3. They gave up 4 runs in the last half inning. 6-3 LaVerne as this one's put in play to the left side. Condon, the center fielder, and left center field makes the catch. The throw back to first is not nearly in time to double off the runner, so 1 out. Siegel remains at first, and Torosian, as you just mentioned, Nicolette, will come up to bat.
Now batting number 17, Jessica Tarosian.
Torosian had a chance back in the 5th inning when the game was 2-1 to drive in a couple of runs, and she struck out looking on a full count pitch.
Good battle right here between 2 players.
Navarro misses inside to Torosian, 1-0. Top of the 7th, 6-3. LaVerne with 1 out, infield and double play depth. Torosian at the dish. The 1-0 is low, 2-0. Navarro in her 4th start, seeking her 3rd complete game of the season and her 4th win. Two-0 is outside, ball 3, 3-0. So a ball away from setting a new career high in walks. She has walked 6 batters today, in danger of walking number 7. Siegel at first, she led off the inning with a walk. The 3-0 is inside, ball 4 to Torosian. And now the tying run will come up to the plate. Ian Gordon. And no one else other than Gordon wants to make up for her costly error that allowed the inning to continue and give LaVerne the lead in the last half inning.
As you mentioned, as we take a look at the screen, she's talking to her coach right there. Not just about the scenario, but could be also confidence booster. Like, that's the beauty of the sport, and any sport really. there's a chance to redeem yourself, but more particularly in softball, like I mentioned before, there's no time limit. So you have an opportunity to redeem yourself real quick compared to something like football or basketball or even a little bit of soccer towards the end, where you mess up and you're pretty much done. Gordon right here, if she redeems herself right here, that's obviously that's definitely a confidence booster for Redlands. And you're also bringing the morale up for the team as well.
Freshman first baseman swings at the first one, fouls it back 0-1. Definitely capable of getting on base. He has 2 hits and 7 at-bats this season. It's a very small sample size. A single and a double. And she waves the bat over home plate. Bounces it off of her shoulder. Now settles in. The 0-1 is low outside, 1-1. Siegel at second. Tarosian at first, both reached via the walk. Navarro trying to finish this team off. The 1-1 is pulled foul to the left side, 1-2.
Navarro taking her time right here. The infield looking in the dugouts. A lot of pressure right here if you're Gordon.
Gordon representing the tying run in a 6-3 game. Navarro's pitch is put in play. A base hit into center field. And staying put at third is Siegel. The bases will be loaded with 1 out in the top of the 7th. For Sam Rivas.
She didn't get the run, but she got on base and advanced her team, giving her Rivas a better opportunity to catch in some runs. Still a good feeling if you're Gordon.
Defense of LaVerne has to be on their toes. A double play steal ends this game. And they have the benefit of having a force at any base. With the bases loaded for Sam Rivas, representing the go-ahead run. First pitch missing inside, 1-0. Navarro a look in. The 1-0 to Rivas. Is going to graze the thigh of Rivas. She barely moved. The home plate umpire saw it get her. So the second hit batter that Navarro has surrendered has now forced in Siegel to come in to score. It is now 6-4, and now the tying run is at second base in Tyson Gordon. Go-ahead run is at first in Sam Rivas.
Infield very in right now for LaVerne, as it is bases loaded, and a double play would end the game right here. So lots of stake right here if you're Navarro.
Middle of the infield in double play depth. Corners are in. In a 2-run game now, 6-4. Tying run at second. Navarro's pitch is a strike, 1-1 to Jordan Smith. Smith is 0 for 2. Lined out to the shortstop and then grounded out to the first baseman. Navarro into the wind. The 1-1. Called strike 2 on the outs in the inside corner, 1-2. The count to Jordan Smith.
A lot of flexibility right here if you're for Navarro. You can go back to that pitch. You can go high with the fastball, or you can go low, middle low.
1-2, Smith in on the hands, pops it up right to the pitcher. Navarro fielding her position well, makes the catch for out number 2.
Went with that inside pitch, got her to pop up a little bloop back to Navarro for the second out.
Number 22, Desiree Moran.
Now Redlands up to their final bullet. Desiree Moran 0 for 2. The strikeout and a pop out to the shortstop. A chance to do some damage. She takes the first pitch low, 1-0. The bases are loaded for Redlands. Tying run is at second in Gordon. The go-ahead run is at first in Rivas. Batter is number 22, Moran. Navarro's 1-0 to Moran. Is high, gets past Grani, and the runners will stay put. The count will go to 2-0.
Good reaction, timing right there by Grani. The ball went passed by her, but was still fast enough to bounce back halfway towards her, pick it up, and be aware of her surroundings, not advancing anybody. So a little break right there for LaVerne.
The 2-0 is high, 3-0. The patience by Moran. On deck is Lars. Bases loaded, 6-4 LaVerne. 1 out away from escaping with the first win in the doubleheader. Navarro's 3-0 is a strike, 3-1. The runner at third is Tarosian. She walked. Gordon is at second, representing the tying run. She reached on a single. And Rivas is at first, representing the go-ahead run. Reached by a hit by pitch. The 3-1 to Moran is a strike, 3-2. And if there's any added drama, the runners will be off and running with the pitch. 3-2.
As a pitcher, this is the moment you live for. These types of moments right here, as you've mentioned.
And as a hitter.
Hitter too.
A big time moment.
Both sides. Payoff pitch coming up as Grani's talking to Navarro, trying to discuss which pitch and location. A lot of pressure if you're Moran as well. Got a chance to do some serious damage right here. Payoff pitch. Game on the line. Let's see who wins the battle.
Bases are loaded for Redlands. Tying run at second. Winning or go-ahead run is at first. Moran at the plate. The 3-2 from Navarro is fouled to the left side and out of play. Tarosian at third, Gordon at second, Rivas at first. 2 outs, 6-4 LaVerne in the top of the 7th. Navarro a strike away from ending the game. The payoff pitch is popped up in the middle of the infield. Second baseman Mendoza makes the catch to put a squeeze on the final out of the game. And LaVerne wins game 1 of the doubleheader, Nicolette, by a score of 6-4.
And that'll do it for game 1.
Great performance. Pitching performances by both sides. Low scoring game. Building up, anticipating drama towards in the second half of this game. Great offensive efforts by both sides. LaVerne end up coming in clutch with Navarro, players like Navarro, Kent on the offensive side, Kendricks, Ogata, Condon, the veterans. Today's game also showed a proof of collaborative teamwork on both sides, especially on LaVerne, and particularly the importance of veterans.
And you mentioned the veterans, but also the luck on the other side of the things. They were trailing going into the bottom of the 6th by a score of 3-2. They got a little bit of help by the benefit of 2 errors by Redlands. How costly have those been?
Very costly for Redlands. While they were able to hang in there, those crucial moments just show the importance of defense and taking care of everything, not giving up advantage. An error is usually just a mental mistake that gives the other team an advantage right there, and LaVerne took advantage of it.
Redlands drops to 3-4 overall, 1-2 in SCIAC. LaVerne improves to 6-1, 3-0 in SCIAC. Catherine Navarro picks up her 4th win. She is 4-0, now has 3 complete games. The losing pitcher is Mika Emoto. She drops to 1-1. For Nicolette Rojo, I'm Billy Lopez. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye, everyone.